Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about a snowstorm that's going to be taking place for the upper Midwest, Great Lakes, and Northeast just prior to Thanksgiving. Now, before I get started with this video, though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do like weather-related content, and also make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social media. I'd also ask that you check out our very exciting Patreon page and our very exciting store. Both of those are going to be in the description and the pinned comment down below. Anyways, for today's comment of the day, I want to know, what do you think the maximum amount of snow is that anyone will see from this upcoming snowstorm? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Let's get right into this video, and first things first, we're taking a look at simulated radar, and this is actually from last night at about 8 p.m. You can see we were starting to see some snowfall already for northern Missouri, southern Iowa there. Also some snow showers for Pennsylvania, New York, probably no accumulation there. As we transition over to this morning at about 8 a.m., we see Iowa, northern Illinois, portions of Wisconsin and Minnesota seeing some snow flurries as well. They're along Iowa and northern Illinois, though it is actually in a form of, I guess, moderate to heavy snowfall, I would say, by that point. And that's just going to transition a little bit further north as we head, I would say, towards about maybe 12 p.m. here on Tuesday, November 24th, which is today from the time I'm making this video. We see Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and northern Illinois there. Also portions of Indiana and Michigan getting involved, so we're starting to see more areas receive some snowfall. What we're going to do is we're going to move on, and we're going to move on towards, I would say, approximately 7 or 6 p.m. this evening on Tuesday, November 24th still, and see what it's going to look like by then. Alright, and as you can see, those areas in Iowa and Illinois have switched over to rain. And the interesting thing here is we're going to need to really work hard to try to figure out how much accumulation is going to happen. And if it happens, is it all going to melt away with the rain? Or is it going to stick around? This is the very tricky thing with this storm. I hate snowstorms like this where a warm front comes out where there was snowfall. Where a warm front comes through and switches everything over to rain. It makes it incredibly difficult to forecast, some of the most difficult situations to forecast here. We're going to try our hardest though. We see central and northern Wisconsin getting some moderate snowfall, also portions of southern and central Michigan there receiving moderate snowfall. Minnesota and portions of Wisconsin have been seeing flurries or light snowfall throughout this entire storm so far. Also, the upper peninsula of Michigan is not being left out. They are seeing some snowflakes coming down by this evening as well, probably accumulating here in these moderate areas for sure, I would say, by this point. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to move on, and we're going to move on towards about 2 a.m. on Wednesday, November 25th. So this is going to be moving into late tonight. We're going to start to see heavy snowfall develop there for central Michigan. Now, the thing that's gotten even more difficult is, as you can see, that rain-snow line has moved even further northward. This is becoming incredibly difficult to forecast. I was dreading making this video because it's just incredibly difficult to even try to comprehend how much accumulation areas are going to see with that rainfall happening afterwards, with the warm temperatures that we had been seeing days prior. Very difficult situation, to say the least. We're still seeing some light snowfall for northern Wisconsin and also the upper peninsula of Michigan. But for central Michigan and portions of, I would say, northern Michigan as well, we're seeing some moderate to heavy snowfall there that's definitely accumulating. This is kind of a bullseye area I've been watching that could be getting some of the most accumulation, and they really stick with all snow throughout most of this storm. Most areas switch over to rain. That's an area that really sticks in the form of snow for the most part during most of this storm system. So what we're going to do is just transition over real quick. This is by, I would say, probably about 6 a.m. tomorrow on Wednesday, November 25th. Again, one day before Thanksgiving. That's why I'm calling this a Thanksgiving snowstorm, because it's happening just before Thanksgiving, and probably some wintry precipitation will still be happening for some regions on Thanksgiving Day. We do see some lake enhancement, I would say. I think the lakes are helping to make this snow a little bit heavier here in upstate New York, the Finger Lakes regions as well, the Adirondacks. They're getting to kind of an early start with the snowfall because the storm hasn't even moved in, and we're already seeing some snowfall for these regions really early on for these regions. So we might start to see some accumulation happening before we even see most of the snow move through. Also, the Green Mountain seeing some flurries by this point. What we're going to do is we're going to move on, and what we're going to do is we're going to move on towards about, I would say, approximately 12 p.m. on Wednesday, November 25th, which is, again, tomorrow from the time I'm making this video. We're going to start to see heavy snowfall move into upstate New York and New England in just a moment. All right, now here we are taking a look at, again, about 12 p.m. here on Wednesday, November 25th. And as you can see, the Adirondacks, Vermont, New Hampshire, very extreme northern New Hampshire there, are all seeing moderate to heavy snowfall there, especially northern Vermont and northern New York there. Maine is pretty much seeing snow showers or snow flurries throughout the entirety of the state, all the way to the coast. There is a few corners there, the northern corner, the southeastern corner, and the southwestern corner that are not having any precipitation. But for the most part, most of that state is seeing some snowfall by this point. Let's just go ahead and take it to about 4 p.m. on Wednesday, November 25th. And as you can see, a lot of that moderate snowfall moves out of New York and mostly into New England now. Extreme northern Vermont, extreme northern New Hampshire, and then throughout central Maine, we're seeing moderate snowfall here. So Maine has been seeing snowfall for quite a few hours. They're going to start to see accumulation by that point, especially with that moderate to heavy snowfall moving in. That's going to really assist that accumulation for sure. Let's take it to about, I would say, 1 a.m. on Thursday, November 26th. So now we're talking about Thanksgiving and we see rain moving in. So a warm front is coming through already. That snowfall is coming to an end very quickly in Maine. We've probably seen, I would say, 3 to 6 inches of snow accumulate there for central Maine. But notice there is some mixed precipitation happening for the Green Mountains there. So this storm is not going to be all rain. As we take it to about, I would say, 10 a.m. on Thursday, November 26th. So this is Thanksgiving morning. It's going to be nasty up there in northern New England, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. Those pinks are indicating freezing rain here on this model. On top of the snowfall accumulation, that is not a good look. We're starting to see snowfall flurries begin again for portions of more northern Maine. So it's going to be a wintry mess, I think. I really think that's going to be the trend. North of Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire is basically that kind of threshold for anywhere north of there is where we're seeing freezing rain, and to the south it's mostly just rain. So we'll be watching this closely. We could see some impacts there with that freezing rain. I might make a Facebook post on our Facebook page. You can check that out. If we see any chances of freezing rain accumulation, I will definitely keep you guys updated on that, because that could obviously create very, very impactful travel situations. And kind of just to close out the storm, we see mostly just rain takeover. By the time we're taking a look at maybe 6 or 7 p.m. So by the time it's dinner time, hopefully all of that frozen precipitation will be coming to an end. Hopefully this rain can kind of wash away some of that freezing rain and slush that might be on the ground. For northern Maine, we're still seeing the nasty mess. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on. We're going to start taking a look at modeled snowfall forecast and even our official direct weather snowfall forecast for this storm. All right, now first things first, our RGEM model, which is the model we've been using throughout this entire video for our simulated radar. We're going to be taking a look at this in 2 halves. Here's our Great Lakes portion of the storm. Anywhere in the grays, generally you would be at a dusting to 2 inches, although with this storm, considering there's rain afterwards, I would say you're getting maybe a dusting in the gray area. If you're in the blue, that's where you're anywhere from about 2 to 6 inches of snow. The lighter blues indicating closer to 2 to 3. Those darker blue areas like central Wisconsin, central Michigan, that's where you might be at about 3, 4, 5 inches, to say the least. Let's just go ahead and move it on, and we'll take a look at New England now. And as you can see, again, same story here. The grays, I would say, is probably a slushy dusting at most. In those blues, which is kind of exclusive for northern New England there, we can see that that's where you're anywhere from about maybe 2 to 6 inches of snow. Northern Vermont, northern New Hampshire, and central Maine being the areas that are probably closer or maybe just above 6 inches of snow. So that might be the bullseye for this snowstorm. Let's take a look at what the European model has to say. And as you can see, it's basically the same story here, just a little bit less snowfall going on. We still see the central Wisconsin, central Michigan areas of heavier snowfall. Same story for northern New England, except it only keeps a couple or a few inches there instead of the close to 6 inches. Let's take a look briefly at our GFS model. And the interesting thing is it has a lot of that heavier snowfall there for southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois, as opposed to just central Wisconsin. So we'll be watching that closely. New England looks very similar to what our RGEM model had to say as well. So let's get right into our official direct weather forecast. And first things first, let's start with our first layer. I'm going to show you guys what the purple one means in just a moment. But for our white layer, that's a dusting to 3 inches of snow. So anywhere in that white region, mostly just dustings are going to be very widespread. But we could see some more heavier areas, again, like central Wisconsin, northern and central Michigan, and then northern New England is going to be pretty close to 3 inches, if not above. Let's just add that second and third layer. So for the purple region, that means you could see snow. Notice I didn't say snow accumulation, I said snow. So flakes might come flying at certain points. There's something called dynamic cooling. As that precipitation starts to fall, it can pull cooler air from higher levels of the atmosphere down, and you can see flakes, but I don't expect any accumulation there. In those lighter blue regions, I expect 3 to 6 inches of snow to be possible there for central Wisconsin, central Michigan, and northern New England. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, what is the earliest snowfall you've seen this year? And Skier Dude said the earliest snowfall I have ever seen is on September 9th, 2020 in the Front Range in Colorado. I think that's really cool that that was this year. And I really think that that was cool because it's such an early date. I mean, September 9th, that's right after August. Think of how close that is to being summertime. Very incredible there. Anyway, for today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our diamond patrons. Michael Codalessa, Alicia Davis, Catbite, Terry Curtis, It's Jay, Madbird, Cindy Klein, Felix Wheatfield, Michael Buell, Mariah Vieira, Kellen Manhart, Noah Harley, and Mark J, alongside our platinum patrons, Adam S., Justin Quantrell, Donna Carnes, Alan Palemo, Larry LePan, Dovie Nagel, James Wade, and Cameron Marshall. If you would like to be on this Patreon end screen, you can do so by joining our Patreon page in the description and the pinned comment down below. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and social media, and we'll see you guys in the next video.